Okay, we're running a little bit late, and I'm sorry for that. We're going to call the Education Committee meeting to order, and each of you, please look over your minutes, and once you look over them,
Motion to approve.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same like sign. All right, I guess I'll turn it over to Mr. Luttrell, Director Luttrell.
We do have a couple of budget amendments to bring forward tonight. Michael's got that information. He's giving you a copy. We can go through and explain what
It's
those
only
are.
one.
There's two.
Two?
You ready for me? Yes.
Okay.
So there are two budget amendments tonight. I apologize for the font being small. They're very large, and I'll explain why in a second. I apologize for that. But I didn't want to bring 15 pages. We're going to go in order of numbers. The first one we'll talk about is 2022-10.
Okay.
You should see that at the top. If you'll
You
flip.
have both of them?
I have both, yes, ma'am.
I've got, if you'll flip to the second page. I'm sorry, do you need,
Okay, we've done paper flipping, let's go.
Okay, so on the second page, I've kind of broken out, there's a space in between each part, but I'll go through them real quickly. The first one is us moving money for a grant that we just needed to move between staff development and other salaries and wages there. That's no new funds. The second part there is our board voted to bring substitute teachers back in-house. So this part would allow us to go ahead and hire somebody in our HR department to onboard all 200 or 300 subs.
I think how many we have?
Generally a sub pool, 200 to 300.
We need to.
Yeah, we generally have between 150 to 200 subs a day. Our pool really needs to be almost 400, but so that would allow us to hire somebody starting in. There's enough money in there to hire somebody starting in May, but we haven't obviously because we're waiting to bring the budget amendment. The third one there is we need to extend science curriculum. We brought a budget amendment last month to buy science curriculum. This $72,000 would allow us to buy science for a third year, so it's a really good cost. But that was according to the state. We needed to have a third year of science curriculum.
And let me explain why. When we purchased for 2 years, we had a deadline that we would have new state standards. They're not going to be able to meet their state standards. So we bought for 2 years, thought we would be adopting, and they're going to push the adoption back a year because of state standards. So this will allow us to continue our resources to finish out the cycle on the science curriculum.
The next one is we're moving some money between communication and travel there for our CTE program, and that's if you've noticed we've had a lot of CTE awards, a lot of state officers and stuff like that, state competitions. So that's us moving some money for those. Our audit contract that moves money to include Green Hill High School. That we were already under contract. That's just to move money to cover that cost. And then we had to reclassify some money between special ed teachers and homebound teachers. And then you'll notice the last is a lot right there. A lot of those are cleanup, some cleanup budget amendments as we get towards the end of the year. I will go ahead and note natural gas on there. We're just over with the cost of natural gas going up, and substitute teachers we're over just for the amount of subs that we need. And then our board had approved for 10 days of COVID leave for our teachers. So when they were able to take that increased our sub cost there. I'll reiterate too, this does not request any new funds from fund balance. So any questions on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same like sign.
All right, and then the second one is the reason I broke this out, and the reason this is so long, and I apologize. This is you saw this last year. This is the funding from the state for summer learning camps. They require this to be in our GP fund. They also approved this budget, but this would essentially fund an entire month of the school year. Supplies, food, everything, fuel. And the reason it's broken down into 3 categories is because the state, or 4 categories is because the state tells me I have to. So they give 4 pots of money, and that funds our summer school this year, which runs through the month of June. It may run to July 1st, but so I think it runs to July 1, so it starts for June. Any questions there? I can go through that, but essentially you're going to see everything to fund.
Yeah.
So, and again, it books the revenue and expense, so this is no additional cost to the
Okay, are
county.
these teachers that we already employed, correct?
Correct.
Correct. There are teachers.
Correct.
Are there any further questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I just have one more suggestion. I spoke to out in the hall. I want to make sure if we can start getting these earlier, as soon as you get them, to give everybody an opportunity to go over them, so that if they have any questions or anything, they can ask you and be prepared when we get here, instead of just drop it on us at this time. So I'd like to make sure we put that in the minutes, that we start getting them a little earlier. If you got anything at all, let us know. Okay.
Would that be via email, you mean, or?
Yes, I
email,
can,
mail,
our board
whichever.
approved these Monday nights at 7 o'clock, so I can try to email you those, that night or Tuesday morning would be about the earliest I think I could, but it would have to be by email, so.
That would be great, because like I said, it's a lot of money moving, and, usually we have some questions coming up, and that'd be great. That'd be great. I appreciate that. Okay. Is there anything else? Any old business, new business, discussion?
How's the bidding coming for the middle school?
We will open the bid for West Wilson Middle on May 12th. So we anticipate a special called board meeting to approve that bid, to then bring over to education and budget, probably in June. It's kind of what we're thinking.
Okay.
But that bid will open May 12th.
And
Any
do we
idea?
have the due diligence on
We
the
hope
house?
to have that back for the June meeting as well, all the information. We hope to have that back for the
The
commission.
elementary, how's it going, on the building?
It is going well. I walked inside of that building the other day, bricks on the outside. The roof is on part of the building. Duct work is going in, so it's moving right along.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Barlow?
Have any idea, how many people are bidding on the middle school?
We had a pre-bid meeting the other day, and I know at least two GCs showed up. Of course, there's a lot of subs that showed up, but 2 GCs showed up, and we've had 3 total GCs ask questions about it, as of the best of my knowledge. Now, they could have reached out to our architect in the last day or two, and I didn't know about it, but as far as I know, that's our goal. So.
Okay. What about FEMA reimbursements? I mean, my understanding was that when you guys finish Stoner Creek, that you may start getting some funding, because it's reimbursement based, right?
Yes, but the way FEMA, we met with them, or meeting with them monthly, we met with them already this month. The way that works is, I'm going to use round numbers for this example.
Sure.
Let's say our insurance settlement was right around $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
So what they'll do is let's say Stoner Creek cost us $30 million. They apply the $30 million to the 50, and then our temporary school, which is what the portables and stuff their kids are in now. Let's say that total costs $5 million. So they apply that $5 million towards the 50. So we don't get any money yet until we reach more than our insurance settlement would be. It's reimbursement based in
Gotcha.
total. So, and we have already, there's other things we included. We had some bus shop repairs, some other things that were included in that, not just those projects.
Okay.
So we're approaching, getting closer to that $50 or so million insurance settlement. But
Okay, because that 50 covered both schools, right?
correct.
We
It covered,
got
well,
both schools.
it
So-
covered
Cover
both.
both of them.
Right.
Yes, it's
right.
what the settlement was for, was both schools and the temporary school.
Right.
It also covers, we had some repairs on the bus garage, some of the sports fields right there, and I think there was some damage at Lebanon High School that also covered.
Gotcha.
I'm 90% sure. And then we had, there was one other thing they also covered. We had to rent a generator, very expensive to keep all of the power on at the gym so the pipes would freeze. They covered that as well. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds like we won't get any FEMA funding until maybe after you start building
Correct.
West Wilson.
Correct.
At this point.
That is correct. That's what we're thinking.
Okay. All right.
Now, another question, since we won't get that, you intend to come to the commission and ask for the money that you actually need?
That would be my, that
Yeah,
would be our
that's all we
And
can
then
do.
if FEMA gives us money, then,
It's gotta go back to you.
I understand,
Yeah.
okay.
That's how we will do it.
And would you include the land buy with that as well?
That'll be up to,
To combine
Commission,
it so we
yeah.
only do it once?
We'll have that information for you all, but that would really be up to the commission.
that's why we're trying to bring it all at
Right.
once, so you have all that to look at, yes.
Okay, it'd be more beneficial to do it once.
Yep.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions from the committee?
No, ma'am.
All right, I just need one more thing.
Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Thank you.